we have Something Like That by Tim McGraw. And this song represents your best times.
Yeah.
So,
first of all, I think I didn't even know I liked country so much because my dad used to play like real country, Merle Haggard, and all that stuff when we'd be fishing on the pontoon boat. And that type of country when you're a kid is tough to consume. I blame him for the pause on my country love. But I remember when Tim McGraw, this album is so good. And this was one that I would play. I had like the Visor CD thing and I would pull that out. And there is such nostalgia in this song. Most country songs tell you a story that you're like, yeah, I lived that. Like they're the ultimate, yeah, I lived that.
Sure.
But I loved the thought of this kind of young love and the suntan line and the red lipstick and like working so hard for that first kiss. Everybody loves that feeling, I think. You know, that first love. Or I think of like the county fair, like he says, and we had a lot of those experiences as teenagers. I was lucky to grow up in West Michigan where we were pretty rural and had some farms around. And I don't know, it just kind of fit the I think that exciting teen time. It was also a time where my identity was still forming, and I think I had a lot of ginger left, and that was exciting.
Yeah. It's great. Didn't you tell a story in your book? It may have been a story about Pam. So this song, the guy meets a woman at the county fair and then sees her 5 years later on a flight to Mardi Gras. Isn't there something where you tell a story about they met and then came across each other years later?
I don't know that they met years later, but I remember meeting Pam, who's my stepmother, and she would fit this really well. She was just a gorgeous woman. I mean, she looked just like Barbie. And I remember after my parents divorced, the alien Barbie, meeting her and having never seen another human being that looked so much like my doll. I mean, really, and of course, this is after my parents divorced and my dad's first girlfriend that he introduced us to, at least. And thinking, this is so exciting. My dad is going to marry Barbie. Like, I put them married before anything. All I cared about, because I was, 9 or something. And then I ran home after he dropped us off. I was like, Mom, Dad has a girlfriend that looks so much like Barbie. She was
I'm sure
like,
she loved that.
Yes. Knowing now, as a parent, how horrible that would feel, despite any of the other stuff that ended up going on. And, it was a pretty contentious, horrible divorce, as most are. And so that's not what my mother would have wanted to hear in that moment.
No.
Gosh.
That's okay. Little kids say what's on their mind. Before we move on to the next song, I did want to ask, was it actually an onion?
Yes, she would eat red onion.
It was.
That was, and people do that. I've now come to understand that's not quite as alien as I thought it was. I had just never seen somebody bite into a red onion like an apple. Yeah.
Is that like a Midwest thing?
She was from Montana, so I don't know if more of like a Rockies.
Yeah. I was like, Ginger was young. She saw that. Maybe she didn't see it correctly, but you just confirmed.
No,
it
I
was
thought,
red onion.
she would have continued to eat onion that way, and she really just loved red onion.